Hello from the dung heap, everybody. These are my friends. A lot of them.
Friends.
There he is. Hi, sweetie.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
And we're live. Hello. SPTV. Hi. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all coming in today. And here we are. It's been a little while, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about today, but I knew I wanted to talk to you all because I miss you. Hey, cats, bats, and flowers. Hello to all the mods here. James Steele, hey there. Thank you for becoming a member. Yay. Excited. Thank you. Thank you. So good to see you all. See Susie O and Joel McCoy. Awesome. So glad you're here. Hi, Maria, Asen. Yeah, hey, I'm glad to see you all. All right, here we are. So I like to talk about things that might be on a lot of people's minds. And this whole thing with the drones, I actually changed my title like 3 times because I want to talk about authority and, I guess I've been thinking a lot about my days in the cult, about how I dealt with authority, how I just kind of gave up my own will, my own critical thinking. And what was wild was yesterday I got a text from Aaron. He was about to go on and do a stream about basically about authority in Scientology, and how there really was no such thing as civil rights in Scientology. You just gave up all your rights, right? And he was talking about how he just assumed that people that were elevated in places of authority, that they were kind of untouchable, that they were qualified to be there, that he looked up to them. And that's exactly what I did as well in my cult. It was like, well, if God, in quotes, placed them in authority, then they must be qualified. And who am I to question them? I'm nobody. So that can carry over in a lot of things that we just kind of take for granted, that people over us have our best interests in mind, that they're always telling the truth, that they have integrity, and that's not always the case. Now, I just want to say, big disclaimer, I am not a conspiracy theorist. In fact, I'm more of a skeptic. Ask Duncan. I'm more of a skeptic than he is in a lot of ways, because, I was in a cult for many years. And so I'm very cautious about what I believe. But I've been really thinking about this going forward in this crazy world. And, we're not going to get into any specific politics. This is very much apolitical as far as I'm concerned. So we're not going to, go like, there is no aisle. This is something that the man that does this video that I'm gonna play some of says, is that he's been involved in he's ex-military. Actually, I'm gonna play some of his stuff and give you a little bit of his bio. But this was something that Duncan happened upon, and it just really helped me to kind of put things into perspective with all the crazy things going on in this world. And even in this space, it's like, oh my God, there's just so much, upheaval and unrest. So this really helped me to kind of put things into perspective. So let me show you. So I put about the drones. Are we in a psyop? So I want to explain what a psyop is, and also give you some idea of what we're going to talk about. And send me your questions and your comments. Hey, Vanessa, good to see you. You got your coffee? Awesome. Glad to see you, Asen. Hey, Violet L. Good to see you too. Okay. So let me I'm gonna try to stop and talk to you all and get your input as we go along, and just present some things. I'm not gonna try not to make it too dry or mansplaining, but this was really interesting to me, so I hope it's interesting to you as well. Okay. And it does apply, like I said, it really does apply to this anti-cult space and just real life. Okay. So what is a psyop? Though I thought this was really interesting. It says a psyop, short for psychological operation, is a military tactic aimed at influencing the perceptions, attitudes, and behaviors of a targeted audience like individuals, groups, or foreign governments by disseminating specific information to achieve a desired outcome. Often through propaganda or other persuasive communication methods. Essentially, it's a way to manipulate public opinion to support a particular agenda. Okay, so I got that right off of I think it was AI, off of Google. Google said, okay, and this is the part of the bio of this man that I'm going to play part of one of his videos that was done not quite 2 days ago. I think it was like maybe Sunday night that he posted this video. His name is Chase Hughes. He's a retired U.S. Navy chief and a leading expert in military and intelligence behavior, with over 20 years of experience developing advanced behavior skills, courses, and tactics. He has authored several best-selling books on human behavior and profiling, including 6-Minute X-Ray, which introduces a rapid behavior profiling system for intelligence operations. And I think this was a source, Missouri Military Academy. Hughes has trained elite government agencies and law enforcement in behavior science skills such as profiling, nonverbal analysis, deception, detection, and interrogation. And Easy Prey is the name of his podcast, and his channel, which I have referenced below in the description, is, I think it's at Chase Hughes Official. So in 2020, he was named a top 40 under 40 CEO in America and one of the top 20 CEOs by CEO Weekly. So I don't know. Duncan pasted that for me just to let you know who he was. Okay. Okay. So he did a video the other day called Planned Event, The Truth About New Jersey's Drone UFOs, YouTube. And, by no means does he give any absolutes as far as like, this is exactly what's going on. You need to watch for this and that. But he does give several different scenarios and goes through the whole concept of if this is a psyop, if this isn't reality, or what to look for, how to sift through the BS, right? And to look at the possibilities and also past events and past tactics that governments have used. And again, I boil it down to thinking about any type of authority, any type of people over you, like government or anything like that. So yeah, I just thought I would play some of this and see what you guys think. And I'll just take you through a few of, he has like 3 steps to this and 3 points to that. And that kind of helps me to organize my thoughts about it. So I'm going to play some of this. Let me just set this up for you. And I'll stop and talk and take your comments as well. Okay. You see that? All right, let me know if you can hear it.
If you don't know, I'm the guy that trains psyops. I'm the person that teaches this kind of stuff to companies and stuff. So the government's kind of gone from decades of denial to throwing around terms like UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, in official hearings. Add to that the sudden rise in reports of drones all over the place, these weird sightings and emergency declarations that are going on, I think in New Jersey right now. And it feels like we're being prepped for something. But what are we being prepared for? So let's dig in. So why would this be happening right now? So we're going to go both sides. It's aliens. It's not aliens. Let's do both sides here.
So I just want to say, it was like, he kind of says it a little bit tongue in cheek, but he's like, hey, I'm not totally ruling it out that it's aliens, but it's, kind of a funny thing. Like I'm like, no way it's aliens, but some people really do believe in it. So I think that him just kind of throwing that out there at least doesn't completely obliterate the idea of it, but he takes you through how to figure out whether the government's manipulating you or not. And a point that he makes later on, I thought was really good, is like, if aliens actually do exist among us or are coming to us, they probably wouldn't contact the government first, So our information most likely would not be coming through the government. And I thought that was a good point too. So let me just keep playing this.
Governments don't just usually open up about things like this without a reason. With all governments, when they start pushing a narrative, it's most often to serve a bigger agenda, if this is deliberate. So here are 3 possible reasons I can think of why this might be happening. Number 1, a distraction tactic. When huge issues are brewing, like economic instability, political unrest, global crises, somebody's done something bad and it's about to get in the news, governments usually and very often create some kind of distraction. So remember when the Pentagon released UFO footage in 2020, that conveniently happened during a global pandemic, this chaotic thing that was going on around the entire world that we all suffered through. Number 2, using fear as a tool. So fear unites people. So if there is a threat big enough, and I want you to remember, if you're just listening to me right now, I'm sitting on your kitchen counter or something like that, and you're making dinner, I said the word threat with huge quotes around it. If there's a threat big enough, like UFOs, people are more likely to trust their leaders, give up freedoms, and rally behind whatever solution that they're offered. It's the same playbook used during the Cold War. This was called the Red Scare for that reason, or post 9/11 with the War on Terror and the Patriot Act. And then number 3, testing the waters. This goes back to BC years. All 3 of these things go back to the BC years. This is not something that's original. So governments tend to test and gauge how people react. So if we accept UFOs as real and we don't freak out, that means we can kind of escalate the narrative without any pushback. So think of it like kind of a slow drip instead of pouring it all out at one time. And if you want to look back at some of these historical parallels, this is not the first time this has happened. There's just a few that come to mind right now. The first.
Okay, so I'm going to just stop it there and kind of skip ahead a minute or two. And I did include the link here. I would strongly suggest it'd be really interesting, I hope, for you all to go back and watch it all. It's like 22 minutes, but I'm going to skip around a little. I hope you don't mind, just for the sake of time. So I'm going to go to this part. I wanted to get some of the lists. So he goes back into history and gives some examples.
Be happening. What might be happening right here? It might upset you. It might piss you off, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. So keep that in your back pocket for just a second. Number 1 is a normalization phase. So just steadily leaking UFO footage, holding hearings, using all these terms like UAPs all the time. The government makes the idea of something out there seem reasonable. So this keeps people curious, but not panicked. Curious, but not panicked. The second part of this is setting the stage for a big reveal. And I want you to keep that one in mind. So at some point, we might see a more dramatic event, like a giant UFO sighting over a major city, or footage that is just impossible to dismiss. And you could think giant holograms, giant drones, or other advanced tech just creating something that you cannot ignore. So number 3 would be a need for a savior. So once the threat feels real enough, governments or even global coalitions could step in as these heroes, and they might call for increased defense budgets. Maybe all the governments in this area need to unite into one big government, maybe a global response team, and I say that with quotes around it, to handle this threat. So this could lead to giant power shifts, and more control in fewer hands is kind of maybe the goal of that. And this, you could look this up. There was even a plan to stage a fake kind of alien invasion. This is on record on paper that there was a full government plan to make a fake alien invasion. But what?
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there for now. That's a lot to digest right now. I was talking about more control in fewer hands. So just a recap here, he's talking about, this possibly being a distraction, which, governments have used before. testing the waters to kind of desensitize and kind of see how people will react, and trying to make it like a slow drip where they're not going to cause mass hysteria, but at the same time to kind of normalize this kind of thing. So, we don't know if this is a psyop, but it is good to kind of know like what it possibly could be. So he's talking about setting the stage for a big reveal, that could be something staged. And like he said, it has been a thing in the past that, not a thing of the past, thing in the past that could happen again, as far as government, conspiracies or whatever, to stage something. He talks about a need for a savior. So it's like, what's the answer? Let's let's pool our resources together, which sounds like a good thing. And it can be a really good thing, but also like get like all these governments involved and create, this global response possibly, or in a power shift, right? To get more control. And, I just put down here, it's like, okay, there's the thought of that kind of made me like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, stay grounded, stay calm, because there are some things that you can do, if in fact that this is the case. So I want to, okay, let me read some of your comments, and then I want to play one more thing where he talks about how to spot a psyop, which I thought was really, really interesting. And I'll skip ahead. If those drones are noisy from here, right? Okay. Okay, this was, I think, before we started. Gregory says the drones thing has been blown into a mass hysteria. It's going to get out of control. I can only hope someone does not shoot down a plane. Yes, there are drones, but this has become a thing of its own. Yeah, it really has grown legs. I agree. And that's why it's good to kind of like step back and say, okay, let's look at all the possibilities. Let's look at the evidence that we do have, and not, speculation. And let's see what's going on. Hey, Susie, grabbed a Starbucks, coffee, mozzarella cheese. Nice. Addressing Christmas cards. Oh, awesome. Yeah, send Susie your address. That's amazing. Constance June. Hey, Constance, that explains a lot of high control groups. Yeah, there are so many parallels to this. I was like, this is definitely something I wanted to study myself and then present. Hey, Maria, question, comment. I wonder how people were seeing stealth when military was testing them back when they did. I don't know what that is. Seeing stealth, FEX. I'm not sure what that is. Somebody can explain that to me, because I'm clueless. Comment. Almost everything explainable logic in our science. Yeah, I agree. Just a northern girl. Hey there. Chase Hughes is one of the guys from the behavioral panel on YouTube. Yeah, he's got a couple of different. I was just introduced to him, really. I mean, online, obviously, just recently, but I really like his work. Hey, Vanessa, love this topic today. Who else is aware that the typical CIA dirty tricks, propaganda shenanigans they did in other countries have been allowed in the U.S. since 2013 under Smith Modernization Act? I've heard of that. Yeah, I believe it. It's definitely a concern. Oh, you can find Duncan's channel. Yes, Free as an Eagle. Yeah, you guys got to see the progress on the A-frame. He's doing great. Mischief, fearful people are using control. Yes, it's about, and I had that in all caps, control and fear. Mm-hmm. Yep. Spiria, comment, this drone thing makes for an excellent distraction from things those in power would rather you don't pay attention to. Remember to look at what news stories get quietly smuggled in now. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, and that's part of what he presents when he describes how to spot a psyop. It's really interesting and true, I think. And check out Susie's channel. Yeah. But first, coffee. Sounds like she's got her coffee too. Maria comment, I can't believe we are alone. Although if life exists in another galaxy, they should have to land and fuel their spacecrafts. Where? Interesting. Yeah, maybe it runs off of something else. I don't know. Kind of energy. Sun energy. Hey, Liz Gal, I'm pretty freaked out about the whole thing, to be honest. That's why we're here talking about it and trying to get the facts and also just to put things into perspective, because I'm with you, Liz. This kind of thing freaks me out too, especially I think with our background, your background, my background, coming from cults, it's definitely something that's not child's play at all. Hey, Marisa. Drones, my favorite subject matter. Those drones are Walmart and Amazon delivery drones. I'll place money on it. They're everywhere in Arizona. We're the testing ground for them. Are they do you have the big ones, like the size of a car? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely, I don't know what it is. It could be, yeah, just people that just bought them and they're, I guess the thing that bothers me is, I was watching the Senate hearing, I think it was called, yesterday. Was it a Senate hearing or congressional, some kind of hearing? And they had a guy dressed in uniform, and they had all these experts on. And at one point, one of the senators, I think the one from Texas, was like, "Are you telling us that you have no idea what this is? That you don't know?" And they're like, "Yes, we don't know." And it's been what, weeks or even a month since these reports started pouring in, and they didn't look into it, or do they know what it is and they're not telling us? I don't get it. I find it really hard to believe that they don't know at all. Hey, CO Bilf, good to see you. Government has been caught red-handed spreading false sensational claims in the FBO or UFO FBO UFO community for decades. Yeah, I know. I've heard that. Yeah. And he was talking about, I don't know if I played that part, but if you go back and watch it, he was talking about in the government all of a sudden dropping all these little words, like I forgot, it's not UFO, it's something. I think that's why I mixed it up, because there's some other word for it that they were using, or some other acronym they were using, and I was like, if they're just kind of feeding us this slowly, it might be that kind of slow drip, the desensitization that they were talking about. Joe McQueen, this is interesting, but I must go. Oh, see you later. My bad foot. Oh, going to the ER for x-ray. All right. Well, text me later. I hope you're okay. I'm glad you're going to the ER. Get it checked out. Liz Gale, I feel like so much is happening so fast. Did you see the orbs in the biblical correlation to angels, and then the Pope opening portals on Christmas? My brain is bursting. Cognitive dissonance. Okay. I did not. And if you want to send me that, Liz, I'm really interested. Okay. I have a lot of background in the biblical prophecies, and that used to really, really freak me out because I believed it. And now I'm just like, maybe some of it's allegorical, maybe some of it is true, but I'm very much past being like scared about it, because my whole life it's been something that's been, oh, it's imminent, this is happening. I guess the way I look at it is, I don't believe that in the biblical precepts anymore. I really don't believe in the opening of the seven seals of wrath, of God's wrath, and all that. It's okay if other people do, but I think that, okay, so if the Bible's real, it says that perfect love, which God is love, casts out all fear. So I don't think that trying to invoke fear in us is really, a godly thing. It's something that is biblical, or that God wants. So the way I look at it is, I'm not going to give in to the fear, because that's definitely one of the tools to, like, what can we do about it? Like, I feel like being afraid and hysterical over something we can't control is not helpful, right? I mean, we all know that, but it is scary. And Liz, if you want to, you send me any of that information, I'll definitely look it over. Opening portals on Christmas. Ugh. Yeah, let's all take a deep breath, because that is just, yeah, it's crazy. I lived 36 years in that foreboding and that fear of that. James Steele comment: are some people just adverse to being controlled? Genuine thought. Oh, well. Oh, averse, not adverse. Okay, averse. Yeah, I think we are. We have come to reclaim Easter Island and the pyramids. That's right. Yeah, really. I know. It's just wild. It is hard to believe that we're alone. So I don't know. It's really, I guess, it's definitely a possibility. Let's put it that way. Vanessa says, I'm pretty sure these drones are our own government. It said the tech we have in Black Ops programs 30 to 100 years more advanced than what we have available to the public. Yeah, I believe that. I wouldn't be surprised if that were true. And again, we have so much technology. I mean, you think of, like, it was the year before I was born, we put a man on the moon, right? Or somebody, some people even say that's not true, but I believe it's true. And the technology is so advanced now, they can't tell me that they don't know where these drones are coming from. Maybe they don't want to know. So, Marisa, I see at least 5 military drones in the sky daily. MQ-9s and the Stingray looking ones. Military drones are different from Amazon delivery drones. Military drones have a wingspan of 30 to 60 feet. Holy crap. That's like an airplane. Asen, governments definitely won't spill the tea. We're clueless. Yeah. Asen, maybe we are not alone, but who says the aliens are how we imagine them because of TV movies, right? Maybe it's an organism that's living here for a long time. Maybe we are the aliens. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Okay, honey. Yes, we'll talk about it. I don't know a lot about Scientology. You guys taught me about that, but I do know some stuff about the crazy biblical stuff. I can talk to you. I can talk you down. Yeah. Open it. Open it. In the book of Enoch. Okay. That's okay. The book of Enoch is not in the it's not in the canon. It's not in the Bible that I had. Now, is that in the Catholic? I forgot what it's called. The extra books. I call them the extra books. Love you, honey. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. He said maybe some bug or mushrooms are aliens. Yeah, we are probably the foreigner. I know. That's wild. And Marisa, delivery drones sound like a beehive of 5,000 bees. Military drones fly at extremely high altitudes. I live under a major flight path of Luke AFB. Our local news is releasing mystery articles too. Interesting. Yeah. And Marisa, if you want to do a chat about this, I'd be really interested, because you know a lot about it. Oh. Only in the Bible, Ethiopian. Okay. Book of Enoch is only in the Bible and Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Catholics don't. Okay, they don't recognize it either. Okay. Yeah, because that was not one of our books. So Yeah. I think we have definitely become a community of friends. And also like I don't use the F word, family. I use fuck sometimes. I use that word. But I don't use fasting either. I don't like that word either. Another F word. But yeah, I think that we have come to trust each other and rely on each other in some ways. That's what a community does. So, okay. I want to play. So I've gotten through that. Everyone's comments so far. So I want to play another clip of this, and he talks about how to spot a psyop. So let me go through that. So that is at 10 minutes. And again, I put the link below, so you can go back and watch the whole thing if you like. Okay. Here we go. How would you spot a psyop? And again, this is just food for thought. I'm not saying this is a, gospel, the Bible.
And I've never said this publicly before, but here is the step-by-step formula that will enable you to spot a psychological operation. Separating manipulation from genuine news is like kind of playing detective. So here's a few steps that will put you on top of everybody for being able to spot a psyop. Number one is analyze the source. On both sides of the aisle. There is no aisle if you hadn't got that figured out already. So next is who owns that platform that you're looking at. So media time.
Okay, did that skip? It looked like it was can everybody hear me? Can you hear me, George? Okay. Did that skip? Should I back it up a little bit? It looks like it was buffering. Yeah, okay. I'll back it up a little bit. Sorry about that. My country internet was buffering. So let me go back a little.
Very much rely on sensational headlines. If you see sensational headlines, you need to get the hell out. This is on all media, on both sides of the aisle. There is no aisle if you hadn't got that figured out already. So next is who owns that platform that you're looking at. So media ties with pharmaceutical companies, political entities, defense contractors. I dare you to look that one up tonight. And so step two, question the timing. So you want to ask yourself, does the story that I'm looking at right now appear during a major crisis or scandal or upcoming election maybe? Psyops will very often distract from bigger issues like UFO footage released during major policy debates or global unrest. Huge red flag. Next is to follow the narrative. And I promise you don't have to go do 5 hours of research to do it. You just ask yourself, are multiple outlets, this one question right here, are multiple outlets parroting the exact same language? If you see that shit going down, you need to be very terrified that something's going into your brain that doesn't belong there. So psyops use coordinated messaging to reinforce a narrative. So look for phrases that feel copy and pasted, like unprecedented threat or undeniable evidence. Those little phrases, you're going to hear them. You will start to hear these everywhere you look. And the moment you hear copy paste phrases, that is a psyop. So step four, look for emotional triggers. So all psyops thrive on pushing your buttons. Think about the fate model, if you know what that is: focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. So this is fear, anger, amazement. So if a story feels like it's designed, and I say the word designed with bold, underline, italics, if a story feels like it's designed to make you react emotionally, get out as fast, but don't even finish the story. Ask ChatGPT about what you're trying to figure out. So stories about UFOs that emphasize unknown threats without any evidence, you should be pretty careful about that. And then just check the evidence. You ask yourself the question, are they providing evidence like document data, eyewitness accounts, or relying on anonymous sources and some vague claims? So if you ever hear the words, and I want you to burn these words into your head. I've never told anyone in my life how to expose a psyop. But if you do all of these at once, you will never be manipulated. This one question. With that stuff going on, I need to ask, is this going to expand government control or justify new laws? That one question. Well, what I'm saying, expand government control or justify new laws. Okay. Analyze coverage patterns. So psyops all the time dominate the news cycle and they drown out other stories. Real news coexists with other reports.
And this was, I can't remember who brought that up, but that was a really good point, is that these sensational stories can drown out some other things that we should also know about.
Let me say that again. Real news coexists with other reports about stuff that's going on. If one topic is everywhere, while major global events get completely ignored, you're in the middle of a psyop. Next is look for follow-ups. This is it. Real news evolves with new updates. Real news evolves with new updates. Psyops fade once they've served their purpose. I'll say that one more time if you're taking notes. Psyops will fade away when they have served their purpose. So as an example, if you see some inflated, sensational story that just vanishes after a week with no follow-up, that is called a distraction. It's called a distraction. So finally is trust your gut. Does it feel scripted? Sometimes things feel just off, and I want you to trust your instincts. Back them up with research if you want to. So what can you do? Like, what the hell can you do about all this?
Okay, so I want to stop it there for 1 second. So these are things that would describe a psyop, right? And he doesn't leave you with powerless, like, oh my God, this might be a psyop. You know, it's got this checked off. He talks about things that you can do to kind of ground yourself and to use critical thinking and question everything. And this really, I was getting really like panicky. And then when I listened to this, I'm like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. And one thing that I was shocked he did, I want to make sure this is fair use. One thing that he said, and I might play that part. I'm not sure what the next segment I had actually says, but he was talking about using Chat GPT as a guide of like getting information all together in a very, very balanced way. And you can actually tell Chat GPT to give you, a balanced view and not be sensational. It will gather from all different sources and kind of put it into perspective. So that's one way to use AI that's actually could be a positive thing. So I thought that was not too far off. So let me play a little bit more of this. And he talks about things that you can do.
Most important thing that I could give you, and I had no idea that I was going to really be talking about any of this, but the most important thing is cultivate critical thinking skills. Learn to spot the propaganda. Go back through what I just talked about, the recording. Chris is going to make this recording available to everyone. I don't know how or where. We'll make it available to everybody here. I don't care if you're an NCI Plus or whatever. Look for patterns in how the media or the government communicates about things, maybe UFOs. Do they spot or do they focus on fear? Or are they offering solutions that involve giving up freedom or increasing government power? So try to diversify all the places that you're getting news from. Try to block every single news provider that you can possibly think of and use AI to get your news. And tell AI to be concise and apolitical in its answer. It's the best way to do it. So I want you to memorize these 3 questions if you're taking notes. Number 1, who benefits from this narrative? Number 2, what evidence is being shown and is it verifiable? Number 3, why now? Why is it happening right now? Next is strengthen your psychological state. Recognize these fear tactics. Fear is the number 1 easiest way to control human beings. Governments use all kinds of stuff as a way to unite people under a single narrative. So stay calm. Question why you're being told to be afraid. Question why you're being told to be afraid. And this sounds like some bullshit trope you might see on some yoga instructor video, but mindfulness is one of the most powerful practices that you could start to adopt today. There's a million videos on it on YouTube. I'm not going to go into how to do it today. It's one of the most powerful things you can do just in general for your success in your life, but it's going to help insulate you from some of this stuff. So just a few other ones. Stay connected to your community, not your online community. Get to know who your neighbors are. Get to know your neighbors. Walk across the street, know everybody that lives around you. Go introduce yourself if you haven't already. Your neighbors might be more important than you realize here if something goes down. Build self-reliance as much as you possibly can. Stay grounded in reality. Always remind yourself that there's a lot of stuff going on, and through all the shit we've been through as a species, as a country, as a globe, things usually just turn out okay in the end. It's not that big of a deal. And finally, just get your mindset protected. The more people panic, the more easily governments can sweeping control the nation. So practice a little bit of skepticism and help other people to stay calm. That's your job. If you remember, you are the one studying authority and confidence and leadership. That's your job, to help people stay calm. So stay educated, but just balanced. So research topic, like if you want to learn about this stuff, go Google Project Bluebeam. It may keep you up all night, but you take a look at that. So fear-driven conspiracies can be just as manipulative as a government conspiracy.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. So I like how he kind of took us through some things that we can do as far as gathering your information. I like the idea of using Chat GPT and telling it to be apolitical, and staying calm, helping others to remain calm, know your surroundings, know your neighbors, I like that as well, because you, as well as I especially, have had to kind of not spend so much time on the internet and do some in real life things. I like the idea of mindfulness, even things like meditation, things that can calm you and ground you. Nothing wrong with that at all. Cultivating critical thinking skills, learn to spot propaganda. We're surrounded by propaganda. Oh yeah, Project Bluebeam is a trip. I heard it's a rabbit hole. I'm not going to go down there. Yeah. After this live, I'm getting offline. Touch grass. Yes, go touch some grass. Not in a bad way. All right, let me read some of these. Pascal, do you think the Luigi thing is so potentially damaging to the machine that they released the drones? Or was that already in play? Oh, geez. I don't know. I think maybe the drones were released before that happened. I don't know. That's actually interesting point. Yeah. Oh, I saw that cut and together in a cut together clip. The news outlets were repeating almost word for word the same thing. Yeah, he did bring that up, is to look for that narrative that just keeps being like pumped out from every different outlet. Yeah. Risa, I'm telling you all, Amazon and Walmart delivery drones are here. They're annoying as fuck too. Instead of Amazon van, an Amazon drone buzzes to your door and drops off your stuff. Walmart is doing it too. Yeah, so that could be the explanation. There could be a simple explanation to this. And so why is the government just being like, well, I don't know. It's like, isn't it your job to know? Isn't it your job to keep the public safe and to have reasonable regulations that don't violate our civil liberties, but at the same time will keep the public safe? Yeah, so that it could be as simple as that. Definitely turn off your TV. There you go. Yeah. Kathy Ann, neighbors are incredibly important to country people like me. Same here. If we have to call 911, like say somebody was trying to break in, it's like an hour and a half before the sheriff arrives. So yeah, neighbors are very important. I'll just say that. Hey, from this I know our government has failed to alarm us. The last 4 years have been so out of pocket, nothing makes me fearful anymore. I hear you. Yeah. Hey, Abraham. Good to see you, friend. Glad you're here. Oh, pizza's here. Hey, government and media have expressed how important fear is to us. Yeah. Oh, while I'm thinking of it, So, we have another offering for anyone who can donate to the SBTV Foundation. And I want to do some other things after Christmas. I'm going to do some smaller things that some other people can afford and all that. But if anyone's so inclined to give, we set this at $200. Where's the book? $200 donation to the SBTV Foundation. And if you send me your receipt, the first person that does that will get Pizza's book. David is his name. He wrote a poetry book, and I've thumbed through it. It's really great. I gotta sit down and read the whole thing, but his poetry is awesome. And he challenged me to crochet a pizza. So I haven't been online much, guys, but I have been doing stuff. I finished almost all of the flying monkeys. I have one left that I'm sewing together, and I have a confession to make for Hef. I don't know if she's listening, but hers was the one I was making, the last one I had on order, and Rocky ate his eyes off, so I had to redo his face. So anyways, I know she'll understand, but so here's the pizza. Here's the pizza I made. It's like bigger than my head. It's 12 inches. And so it's a crocheted pizza and a book. So if anyone's able to do that, let me know. So it's just one of a kind right now. Well, I'm just reading some of these comments. Hey, Karen McCourt, good to see you. Hey, Glenda. Rocky ate his eyes. Yeah, he will. He'll eat your house. Trust me. He tries to eat my house every day. Yeah, we're not doing politics today. Thank you, Mischief. Yes. All right. So what do you guys think? I mean, this is pretty much what I wanted to present. And let's see what else I have here just in case. This was another thing I think he closed with. A few other just food for thought. He says, ask yourself who benefits from this narrative. What evidence is being shown, and is it verifiable, and why now? So he talks about the timing. He mentioned that quite a few. You saw him eating my house. Yes, Rocky does try to eat my house. Yeah, and believe me, he's fed really well because he's pleasantly plump like his mama, like me. Okay, strengthen your psychological state. We talked about that. We talked about mindfulness. Okay, this was interesting. He said, when governments propose solutions, ask yourself, do they actually address the issue? That's number one. Two, what freedoms or powers are being taken in exchange? And three, is this a long-term solution or is it just convenience? So I thought that was really interesting too. So yeah, I hope if anybody was afraid or skeptical or panic about it, I hope this helped somewhat. It really did help me. And I did put the link below if you want to watch the whole thing. And, it might not be applicable to everyone. It might not be applicable at all, but I just thought it was something interesting to consider. So, yeah. And it definitely, to me, it does tie into being taken in by, say, a cult. It's good to think about that, is being able to spot propaganda, being able to know when you're being manipulated or someone's attempting to manipulate you, whether it is government or media, or a person, a group, a religious group, or even, like an MLM or any type of club. It's good to know these things and to look out for them, to protect yourself. Thank you, Mischief. Appreciate that. Thank you, James. I appreciate that so much. So, tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'll be on. I want to, pop in definitely more often. I missed you guys a lot. I really did. And I'll admit, I just want to take a few minutes to explain some things where I'm at, and why I haven't been on. So today's the 17th. So 2 days ago, what's today? Tuesday. So Sunday would have been my sister Sherry's 66th birthday. And she passed away in 2018 on Thanksgiving. So right before, it was a few weeks before her 60th birthday. And she passed away in the hospital. I was holding her hand, and she had lung cancer as a result of smoking her whole life. And she asked me, she said, please promise me you're going to quit smoking. And it took me 5 years, but I did do it. And it's always December 15th is always a tough day. And it's actually a tough week because the 12th was very strange, is that 3 of us siblings out of my seven siblings, the 3 of us that survived were all born in the same week of December. So my brother David, who I'm estranged from, I did text him on his birthday. He sent me a smiley face, which I guess is progress, but that's it. I haven't seen him since Sherry died. He really took it hard. And I'm his half sister. So I don't know, maybe that's part of what, like, he doesn't want to see me because I remind him of something. I don't know. But so that was the 12th. The 15th is Sherry's birthday. And then the 19th, which is this Thursday, is my birthday. So I'll be 54. I'm old. And Kelly Copter made me promise that I would come on my birthday. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to do that. But I will be home until night. My boys are doing a gig on my birthday night. So I'm really excited about that. Oh, thank you for the hearts, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know so many of you have a hard time during this time of year, So I don't want to come on and just act like everything's fine. Like, oh, 'tis a season to be jolly. It is, but at the same time, there's real loss and pain that people are experiencing. And I want to acknowledge that. 50 is the new 40. Thank you. Yeah, 6 months ago. Yeah, it'll be 7 months, January 2nd. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. So yeah, I come on and I just want to be real with y'all. And I've been, struggling through like a lot of attacks from trolls. That doesn't bother me as much as some people that I thought were colleagues, friends even, that have been kind of low key and not so low key attacking me lately. And I haven't returned. I've never said anything about them, criticized their channels, or said anything. And I do feel it. Like it hurts. I'll be honest. It does hurt. In a lot of cases, we share audiences. So I don't want to be negative. I don't want to cause anybody to want to just disregard me or attack me or tell our shared audience that I'm no good. I'm me. I guess that's all there is to it. And it's been really hard for me to not care and to just be like, oh, I'm just going to do me. Who cares? Because I do care what people think. But at the same time, I got to be me. And I'm here for all of you because so many of you, all of you that I can see right now in the chat, have been here with me for a long time, and you accept me for who I am, and I appreciate that. So I just wanted to say that, and that I can't stay away for very long because I do really miss you all. So here I am. I've just been hanging out, making a lot of cookies. If anybody wants any recipes, I can share the cookie recipes that I've been making. I didn't make them up myself. I'm terrible at baking. I have to really follow the recipe, point by point, and it's really hard for me to do that with dyslexia or whatever I have. But I've been doing okay. I got a lot of cookies done and doing some shopping. Thank you, Mischief. Except, yes, I do. I accept you all. Absolutely. Thank you, James. Thank you, James. Appreciate you. Anyways, I've been crocheting for charity, and I guess some people even have a problem with that. It's like, whatever, it doesn't matter what I do. There's always going to be naysayers, but I'm glad you all accept me, and fuck the haters, right? I just keep telling myself that. Hey, Dr. MLS, good to see you here. All right, so we've been going for an hour. I will try to pop on tomorrow. If not, I'm definitely planning on Thursday. Who better to spend my birthday day with than you all? And then I'll go hang out with my family at night. That's right. That's right. Screw them. Yeah. All right, everyone. This was really fun. If you have any, excuse me, comments or questions, you can always email me at coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. And please hit a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you want to leave a comment, if you're on the replay crew, please leave some comments. And even if you're here live, leave me a comment. I always read them all and I answer as many as I can. So, all right, everybody, we'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye. Zenu, Marlene, everybody partake. Cheers. This is good coffee. This is why, my hubby makes the coffee.